Welcome back to La Rouge and the Yanks, where we talk everything Canada soccer and U.S. soccer. Today we'll be doing a recap of the Olympic group stage women's soccer match between the United States and New Zealand, where in this one, the United States would take a 6-1 win over New Zealand. But before we get into that, I'm glad to announce that we actually have stats, we have highlights, although to keep the video short, we'll just talk about the goals. But we have information finally, which I wish we had for the Canada versus Chile match, but it is what it is. But we take what we have in front of us, as I always say. But for the USA one, we have information that we can use, which is good. But as I said, we'll just talk about the goals in this one, just to keep it short, and talk about just one thing. But for now, let's talk into the lineups. For the USA, we have in the keeper Alyssa Nair, Emily Sonnet, Abby Dahlkemper, Tiana Davison, Crystal Dunn, Rose Lavelle. It looks like is it Casey Kruger? She came in. Maybe that's a sub. But I see. I'm just gonna read off the names that people who played, I guess, because there is no clear formation. And you guys will see that too when I post this on the screen. But we have after Rose Lavelle, we have Sam Mewis, Julie Ertz, Lindsey Horan, Katharina Mercario, Tobin Heath, Carly Lloyd, Alex Morgan, Megan Rapinoe, and Christian Press. And it even says the substitutes not used. As you can see, Jane Campbell and Becky Sauerbrunn. So in parentheses, I'm guessing that's who came in. But you can see all the women who played for this game against New Zealand for the USA. And then with that, we're going to go ahead and go right into the goals only, as I said, just to keep the video short. And the 9th minute, it gets started early for the USA as Alyssa Nair plays a beautiful ball down the field. And Carly Lloyd just flicks it to Lindsey Horan, and the ball bounces to Rose Lavelle. She shoots one time and scores. A brilliant start for the USA. It's already 1-0. And just already a great way to bounce back after that Sweden game. And then we all jump all the way to the 34th minute where Rose Lavelle sends a nice ball into the box to Lindsey Horan. And she heads the ball home, but the flag was up for offside, and that one does not count. But essentially, an interesting note to know here is apparently that was the 4th time the flag was raised for a disallowed goal in this match. So I don't know how many goals New Zealand had disallowed, or even the U.S., but I do know that there were 4, and that's wild. 45th minute though, corner kick comes in for the USA. Julie Ertz heads it back across goal, and it lands to Lindsey Horan, and she scores. And this one will count as it's now 2-0 USA right before halftime. And then the 63rd minute, Emily Sonnet passes it to Lindsey Horan, and then back to Sonnet, and then Lindsey Horan again. So it's a little tiki-taka there for the U.S. women. She crosses it to Carly Lloyd, who then heads it on frame, and it's tapped in by a New Zealand defender for an own goal. It's 3-0 USA. And unfortunate for New Zealand, but the game goes on. 72nd minute, a poor mistake in the back for the USA, as New Zealand will pounce on it, and it's passed across goal and hammered home by Betsy Hastig for New Zealand, and now it's 3-1. But still for USA, they're still winning 3-1, but New Zealand does pull one back. They no longer have a goose egg, as the shutout for the USA is gone. So now, as of right now, the moment, USA has been scored on by every team in their group, at least once. So they're still with 1 game left to Australia, but we'll see. 80th minute, Julie Ertz sends a wonderful ball over the top to Christian Press. She shoots and scores. USA gets it right back. It's 4-1. And then 88th minute, Christian Press again crosses the ball to Alex Morgan this time, but she puts it home. 5-1 now for the USA. And then the 3rd minute, it's 90th minute stoppage time. Christian Press gets a great through ball, shoots, but is tapped in once again by another New Zealand defender, another own goal, and make that the 2nd own goal as well as the 6th goal of the match for the USA. That's the way it would end. USA wins this one 6-1 as they bounce back from that Sweden loss that was 3-0. But before we go into the stats, let's take a look at the live group standings, which we have at the top of the group is still Sweden with 6 points. And then here we have the USA with 3 points, getting their first win of the group. Australia right behind with 3 points, but the USA is beating them by 1 goal differential. And New Zealand at the bottom and probably eliminated from Olympic medal contention with no wins and -6 goal differential. And then now we look at the stats. And then for the shot sum, we have 12-5 for USA. I'll shoot for New Zealand. Shots on goal, USA has 4, while New Zealand has 3. Saves, there are 2-0 for the United States. Corner kicks is 5-2 in favor of the United States. United States has more fouls, 7-3, and offsides, 7-2. And there are no misconduct summaries from this one, as well as possession battle. I think the USA dominates, although the stats doesn't show it. But that says it for the stats, and that does it. So one thing I do want to talk about, the one thing I said I was going to talk about to keep this short, was bouncing back after the Sweden game for the USA. This game was really important for them, as they had to bounce back. They had to win this one. They have to win out now to win order to advance probably in the Olympics, as Sweden handed them their worst, not only a loss, but their worst loss of Olympic history, 3-0. So you had to bounce back from that. This game, from what I saw in the highlights, was a great way to bounce back. Just, after really getting almost embarrassed by Sweden. And as I said in the last video, Sweden wanted that game more. So it was all about who won it now. Does USA have the heart to win out? And even now they got to beat Australia, which is another tough opponent. In order just to get through, winner of that game advances to the knockout rounds in the Olympics. And so, just what a way to bounce back after falling to Sweden 3-0, taking care of business against New Zealand, and now they just have to take care of business against Australia to advance further into the Olympics. So we'll see what they do coming up on the 27th, I believe. And that will see if they either get eliminated, which will be another just shocking moment for the U.S. women's team, or will they advance? And despite that Sweden loss, so we can only see as we have to keep watching as the Olympics goes on. But for now, that is it for this video. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends that, and also tell your friends that the USA women's have bounced back.